you carry me in the depths of your heart, in the depths of your to wonder why.
The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Bring myself up on stage. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the 60th edition of the Community Pulse. Once again, we have a fantastic show lined up for you. Our good friend Chad Freeman has introduced me already to two fine artists, brothers, on guitar. And I can't wait to meet them in depth and find out. You're just gonna love the environment they're in tonight. Is just classic. Like I said, fantastic musicians, and I'm really excited to get to know them. All right, so the opening song this week that we chose is David Joshua's "You Carry Me." David's a popular individual in our community, a great supporter of many of our channels, and it was a great premiere that he had this past week. As you know, the 8 channels that I like to introduce at the beginning of the show, it starts off with Jade Star. She does live interviews every Thursday at 6 p.m. Of a lot of the artists in our community. Wow, I'm tired today. A lot of the artists in our community. A couple of weeks ago was Lori's Mishmash. Yeah, she does amazing stuff. She's also on throughout the week. Please go check out Jade's channel. Independent Many United every Friday at 8 p.m. She has a mixed show where half of the show is artists within our community that go up on panel, whether it's singing karaoke style or coming up and performing with a guitar, piano. A lot of great artists show up there. And then the other half is discussion. Yeah, it's a really great show. And please go check out Independent Many United. We got 15th Bend with the Indie Music Roller Coaster. That's Thursday at 9 p.m. Last week, 15th wasn't around, but I believe, I'm not sure if he's around this week. Chad Freeman Ham, Sunday on Tuesday is what we're calling it right now, according to DJ Big Red, who's constantly giving me shit about one thing or another. Every I was going to say Sunday, every Tuesday at 11 p.m. Chad has amazing shows. He's going to get into detail of where he's been, what he's been up to, and what he has coming. And he will announce that any of the artists who pause in guitars, Martin Kelly, if you haven't already submitted music to Chad, I just randomly picked out the two names I happened to look up at. Please do so. His email is easily accessible on his channel. Francis and Ian, the replay, every other Sunday at 8 p.m. This weekend was, man, I was glad to be there. As you all know, I don't really promote my music on this show, but that's all good, and it's by design. So it's really cool when you get Francis and Ian. I think he played two songs in one collab that I did with Hetriani. So it was pretty awesome. And not just for that. They have a great show. They are the OGs of the community. Trust me when I say that. They've been around a lot longer than a lot of many of the streaming channels that I've been shouting out. Thomas Christ, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. he has a fantastic show called You Rock. All you have to do is fill out a little form, hit the submit, and I hope to see Brothers on Guitar submitting a track. We have all the links for you. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You'll get played 100%. A great rockin' show, runs for about 4 or 5 hours. Really cool stuff. Fantastic musicians. As well as Pete John's Your Music Live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Pete's known to be the gateway into these communities. One of the OGs of streaming our music. And he's got a fantastic show every Sunday. Same deal. Fill out a form. Hit submit and your music will be played. And I'm sure you're going to see Pete in here soon. Manny from the Lily Pillies is in the house. All right. And then my favorite, everybody's favorite, Lori's Mishmash. The Friday Night Hang. Every Friday at 12 a.m., midnight here, Eastern Time. Lori does so much for the community. She never takes the credit that she deserves. We call her the glue of the community. She's just a fantastic, big-hearted person. She's always there for anybody who needs her, and she always gives the time and love and energy to so many of us. And we love you, Lori, all of us. All right, and then as you know, we're going to close off the show with our friend Liz Aday, another great friend of Chad's that I got to meet, and with the song called that she lends us to play on the show for a closer called Family Gold. It's a fantastic song. Following the show, everybody's going to be dumped onto Vince Gianella's Monday Night Live Jam, Hang with Vince Gianella. The redirect is all set up. And then following that at 11 p.m., we have Monday Night Live with Axe and Nachos, and you're guaranteed to see Chad and his friends in the house there. All right, as I mentioned, we have Chad Freeman as the co-host with Brothers on guitar as the featured artist. Before we start with that, as you all know, each week between Folk Punk DJ and myself, we choose a featured channel that we want to highlight. And this week we chose a really good, amazing artist out of the United States, a channel that represents the love of God and Jesus, both original and covers of gospel and country tunes. Baker is an amazing supporter of many of our channels. You don't see him often, but he's always present and he's always listening to all of our music. I would love if you could, his channel will be pinned at the top of the chat throughout the show. I would love if you can make some time to go over and send some love. Snooks is going to be posting all the links for our featured artist, and please follow all these links and support and show some love. Baker.
Back roads and backwoods, with smoky bars and mason jars, and old strings on a new guitar. It feels right to me. Vagabonds and used tramps, hair lips and liars, second-hand citizens, they've always been my kind. Can't pull to a zip code when I'm in the lowest valley. I can climb the highest hill. When I'm in the lowest valley, I can climb the highest hill. Sickness, I've got health. Confusion, I've got peace. So I raise my voice to praise His name, and I raise my hands without shame. My soul has been saved by the Master, and the dark road of sin and despair. I'm thankful for my dear loving mother, and that Savior on that April morning, as He carried the cross up that hill. I saw those nails, those old rusty nails, and the crown made of gold. I can't ride out no more storm. Too many highs, too many lows, too many storms and tornadoes. I need the blue sky. I'm just laid up here in a country state of mind, catching these fish like they're going out of style, and I'm a-drinking that a homemade wine. If that's undone.
What do y'all think? Am I right about that? Baker, ladies and gentlemen. Please go offer up some support. As I said, that is the feature channel for the evening and the week, and it is now, that montage is now live. But please go offer up some support. All right, let's get on with the remainder of the show. And I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to bring on our good friend. You all know he needs no introduction. Bring on Chad. Let me unmute you because that is the right thing to do.
Hey.
Everybody will be yelling at me. Chad, once again, this is actually fantastic what you've done. I know you've been working on this since just
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I
the
said we got to get
timing.
them one. So
Yeah.
no,
And
it
I
all
am
worked out.
pumped. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Brothers on Guitar, I just stumbled across them on YouTube. This would have been back in it was right after I started my streaming in May of 2023. And then they haven't, got a whole lot of exposure. I have been playing their music. They had a new album that dropped in October of last year. Absolutely love it. I've been on panels with Andy a couple of times, but the first time actually I'm getting the chance to talk music and to get into their process, and first time sitting down with AJ. So this is going to be super fun. Very, very cool. And I know there's some confusion with my schedule.
Yeah, let's hear it because at least Chad is proactive.
Yeah.
He never tells me exactly what's going on, but he is the first to send me an email to say, "Yeah, I think you got that wrong."
I like to keep things interesting. I do like to mix things up. So I was doing the Sunday show, and I was finishing up a big move, and I decided to put it on pause. I brought back the Saturday show. The Saturday show is back for once a month. So every month I've got a different themed Saturday show. It's a different Saturday each month, but like it was grunge this month. The month before it was celebrating women artists. Next month it's going to be an exploration of music that heals. It's called a sound remedy. And so I am looking for people to send me tracks that they want to be featured. It's just about songs that soothe the soul, whether it's an instrumental or if it's something that's just providing positive energy, or if it's a song that helps go through a certain time in your life. So just an exploration of music's power to heal, uplift, and transform. So I think that's going to be really, really good. I find putting the Sunday show on pause and just doing these really in-depth themed Saturday shows, which is what I enjoy the most. That's where I have so much fun building these playlists off of some sort of theme. Sunday's gonna come back, but yeah, for now, just Tuesday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. It's a silly show, but we do open panel, open mic, the second Tuesday of every month, and then the Saturday show. So
that's fantastic. We were talking backstage, and yes, I'm putting you on the spot, Chad. We were talking backstage, and Hetriani, we were guessing ages, not guessing ages, discussing our ages.
okay.
And Hetriani said to Chad, "You're the young pup in this room." I'm not going to tell you Chad's age, but he told us his age, and he's not the young pup. And I just realized after seeing JJ's post, Folk Punk's post, that it's the beard that was shaved. That's what looked different about you today.
Yeah, I did shave it a little while back. I had it for many, many years, and my girlfriend said it was time to go. So I'm shaving like maybe once every 2 weeks now, just to keep it, more 5 o'clock shadow. But no, I'll be 51 in
Looks
May.
good.
It's my birthday's in May. I'll be 51.
May
that
what?
does surprise.
Because we
It's,
got to write
it's
this
May.
down.
It's May 8th. May 8th. So yeah.
All right. DJ Big Red has probably noted this already. I don't need to write it. So that's cool. 1 week away, pretty much. Wow, there's a lot going on in May. All right. So you chose Brothers on Guitar, and you got your wish, of course. And the song you chose, before we bring them on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can go ahead and play it and then bring them on.
Why don't you tell us why you chose Black Widow?
So Black Widow is off their first EP, and it really, to me, kind of, it's all of their elements. It's a perfect showcase of what they do, because I feel like they're kind of part grunge, part Southern Fried heavy rock, and then also a little bit of power metal. And it's just a blend of all of those things. And I think this song, it has that. And plus, I'm always a fan of the darker side of things as well. So for me, this is, one called Black Widow. So it's perfect for Halloween playlist and things of that nature. But no, I just really, really love this song. And it's one of their early ones. I think we're mostly going to be playing their stuff off of their most recent album.
Yeah.
But this is a nice showcase.
All right. Brothers on Guitar, Black Widow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let me just bring us back here.
So good.
Yeah, that's an awesome pick. And when I created the montage before you all sent me the songs, obviously I had every song perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, just a fantastic um, track. And let's bring them on.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers on guitar. Look at that. I'm going to put you guys side by side. I'm going to
Live from the swamps
live
of
from
Florida.
and this is legit live. They are not, this isn't green screen.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it, gents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
introduce
I've seen
yourself
it.
first and talk a little bit about what you do in the band, and then a little bit about where y'all are set up right now.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. I'm Andy. I do bass, guitars, drums, and mastering on the albums.
I'm AJ. I do vocals, guitars,
And
mixing and producing, the grind.
Love it.
And y'all set up right now, and where are y'all at? Tell everybody a little bit.
we're in
about-
Reddick, Florida. We are outside right now. If you hear any weird noises, it's because we got some rain falling. It's not too heavy though, but if you hear some little bit of thunder, yeah. So it's not too bad though. But yeah, we can hear it. But no, we are outside with the Gators in Reddick, Florida, in the middle of the swamp.
If any of y'all out there are familiar, we're just south of Gainesville, which is where the University of Florida is, the Gators. So we're north of the Everglades. But again, it is very, like I was saying in the backstage, there's like a lake every few miles here. We're right by the lock, which is Loch Lusa, and Orange Lake. Also is Cross Creek, where some Rawlings, she wrote a novel called so you even got Horseflies. The Yearling. So and there's, of course, Petty came out of Gainesville. So we're from. It's an artisty place. It is. There's a lot of artist functions, stuff like that in Gainesville and stuff. Where kind of always drew me to it. It's a nice place to work because of it's a lush environment.
Right. And when did you start off, AJ, as far as writing and performing music? How young were you that you got into it?
Well, I was kind of raised a little bit by my grandparents, and it was a large Italian family, and there was a lot of we all grew up in a house that had a piano in it. And starts choking up a little bit, but my grandfather, he had two things that he really wanted me to do, and it was either a magician or a music, because he said that I'd be able to entertain parties. So his choice of instruments was the accordion, because him and his brother used to jam out of an accordion and sing songs. And I think the guitar, to him, he thought that it was kind of silly, but the more I would progress at it and work hard at it, he started, But I'm 51. Chad, I'll be 51 in June. So Amadeus was another big thing. That the composition end of it. For me as a young kid, composition was, and still is, for some reason I see it as a higher than rocket science. I don't know why. I just always seen that the alchemy of sound is. It's something that I always was intrigued by, just understanding it. And you know how it is. You could spend a lifetime on the instrument and still look at the damn thing and be like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
So yeah. It's family, and this whole endeavor is family.
Right. And Andy, you're the young one of the two, right? And so you were kind of following him around, or tell us a little bit about when you got into music.
Yeah, well, I got into music. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old, and I used to steal his cassette tapes out of his room downstairs. And I would take them back up to my room and listen to them on my Play School cassette tape player. It was one of those, and he would find the tale of Megadeth. Cryptic writings was the one I used to always steal.
The truth, though, he ran away with it, though. In middle
When
school,
as I got older.
by the time he got to middle school, he was already in a band that was playing out Tremulous.
I was a freshman in high school. So basically after the Play School cassette tape player, I obviously became a fan of music
I
all the
couldn't
way
get out of the
through.
garage.
Yeah, he could never get out of the garage. But when I got into high school, I was a freshman in high school, and one morning on the bus, I met this kid. His name was Dave. And he was like, "Hey, man, I play music, da-da-da-da-da, come over." And I went over to his house one afternoon after school. And he had, full stacks. He'd play metal. He's ripping out some Metallica riffs and stuff, and he already had a band. And he was like, "Man, we need a bass player." And I was like 16 at the time, and I said, "Well, I want to play guitar." That didn't, obviously, we need a bass player. So I did what I had to do and started playing bass with that band, Tremulous, back in 2001. And we were 16 playing bars in Chicago. I mean, and they used to make us wait out by the dumpster before we'd go on and play in some of these places because, they would lose their liquor license if they had a bunch of kids in there, but they still wanted us to play because we were, we'd cover Metallica pretty well. We were just your straightforward, just normal, heavy metal band. And yeah, we were all kids, and they would just, "All right, kids, if you're up, get up there." Then as soon as we got done, they'd kick our asses out. Get out.
That's awesome.
Well,
And then, I did play in other bands as well, but we'll get.
Well, I was gonna ask, how did this Brothers on Guitar band, what y'all do now? When did that come about, and how did that come about?
So I was in Chicago. We're talking 2011, 2012, and Andy calls me up, and he's like, "AJ, I got an idea for a band name." And at that time, I had been burned by the process. I mean, you know how music is. You can love it and love it and love it, and it doesn't love you back. And sometimes it kind of hurts you, and that's kind of how we left it in the end. When he was in Desecrate the Hour and I was in Once Suffered. Anyway, he calls me and he's like, "I got a name for a band." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." I don't want to go near that again. I just don't want to go near it. I don't need the heartbreak. I don't need it all. It's a lot of work. A lot of folks don't. It's a lot of work. And he was like, Bog. And, because I grew up down here and I know about that swamp thing that I was telling you guys about. I knew. And I wrote that intro song, Bog, like right when I got off the phone with him. I was like, you know what? He might have something with that. And I knew that there was no wonderment when it came to the composition end of it. It was, I already had some, like I had Black Widow, I had Home, I had To All My Friends, and these are songs I just wrote just to write, just to have it still.
Funny note about that real quick. So after my band, Desecrate the Hour, that's the band I toured in for a couple years and all that, I was leaving to come down here to live in Florida, and I actually ran to the music store, and for like $100, I bought him a cheap acoustic. So a lot of these songs that, at least on the first EP, were written on that cheap acoustic that I had given him before I left. A couple years later, I called him about the whole, "Hey, I checked this out, Bog, band name." So at first it was just Bog, B-O-G, no asterisks, no nothing.
But we knew, okay, so going back to, so when he told me Bog, that was all good. When we started really taking it seriously, we were going to start releasing music. Being that we were older, Chad, I was like, let's just try to do this the way, like our dad, because my old man was a business major, and he used to make fun of me when I'd be reading lyrics, like, "You dummy," he used to call us morons. That was his thing. "Are you a moron? You a moron?" But he opened the jacket of the seat, or this is back to cassette tapes, and he points at the little stuff, the LLCs, and he's like, "You're reading the wrong thing, you dipshit," and I told Andy this time around, I was like, let's go the business route with this. Let's try to, let's make a record label. Let's do it all the way like let's adult this. So then when we were talking about trademarking the name Bog, the lawyer basically was like, yeah, right, that's like trying to trademark the name, or like an ampersand or something. So I kept Brothers on Guitar in my back pocket because I was a little weary about it, but I knew it was a good brand. You know, like when you were saying that earlier, Chad, I was like, you know what, it's befitting, you know, because I did want it to be a family affair, you know.
Right.
And then the Brothers on Guitar, and I was like, hey, well, what about this? And
At first, he said Brothers on Guitars. And I was like, how about just Brothers on Guitar? And then Bog, it all fit. We put the asterisks in there. And that's because our Uncle Ben used to love the show MASH. That's where the asterisks come from.
Oh, love it. Love it. Love it.
I was always wondering about the asterisks. Yeah, that's awesome.
And you'd be like, you've seen this one, and you'd be like, shut up, and you'd start biting his nails, watching the damn show. He loved it. But, you know, I think it had to do with Klinger was Toledo, and I'm originally from Toledo, so I think that, you know, it had a little bit to do with that. You know, he's always referencing Toledo a lot, so yeah. So,
I love how everything kind of ties in together. I mean, the Brothers on Guitar, the BOG, everything. Yeah.
I wanted it to have I don't want to waste anybody's time. As an artist, I want people to have fun. I don't know. I guess I want them to lots of little eggs, like you're saying.
Even in the new song "Just Breathe," that little video I put out. If you look closely at the radio front on the visualizer, Chad, you'll see that it says 55, 57. That's my mom and dad's birth years. That's what 55. Yeah. So some people that know, you know, I put stuff on. I put little things like that in everything.
That is
It's all
cool.
about our family. Yeah, that's why there's no real. That's why I thought it would. You know, it might actually make sense because, you know, we all go through the periods where we're, as artists, it's hard to try to find a theme, or, you know, I mean, it is. And then when you get to be older, you're like, okay, what even fits? You know, if they're walking around in a Dago tee, you know, so the minute he said Brothers on Guitar, and some of the songs, like if you pay attention to all of them, they're all family songs. They're all campfire songs. That's where they all. When we play live, we play acoustic, but we play with drums. But it's an acoustic.
It's a electrified acoustic. Acoustic.
Yeah. We try to go as high voltage as we can for acoustic.
And we actually write. Most of these songs are written on acoustic, like. And so when we get into the studio with these songs that we've only heard on acoustic guitar, and we start adding like electric guitar, sometimes they kind of take a life on their own. Like with Just Breathe was one of those. I wrote that song completely on acoustic, and then when we got into the studio and it started coming together and started getting like this weird vibe to it, I was kind of scared. Like, man, I didn't expect it to sound like that, you know. And then with the bass line, you know, do. I'm like, I don't know, man, but whatever, you know, who cares? You just throw it out there and see what happens.
All right, I'm going to throw in a few. That's amazing stuff. So you have, is that pronounced Dolphin? Boxed you? Donning your merch right now during the show. I'm assuming they're a supporter of your channel?
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome. And great to see you, Kem. And I'm going to do a few shout-outs here. And... Kim's Bog from the Bog. Love it. All right. So the Community Pulse, every week we have a playlist because we're only able to shout out a few. I think there's well over 100 premieres and stuff that I wanted to point out for the week. It is under the Community Pulse 60th edition playlist. And you can find the link there with JJ and DJ. Red Heaven, who's going to be on the show next week with Martyr. Mary, my good friend from Italy, Ciao Bella. Still Loving You, a Scorpions cover. She does amazing videos. I would love for her to do a video of one of my old songs. Mary, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. All right, David Cartrett. AKA Gone Bad, Breaking the Law, Judas Priest cover, Darbase bass covers. Darbase has been busy all week. He's had quite a few. You Give Love a Bad Name, a Bon Jovi cover, Ashley Dale Kelly. Now, here's a new artist. I think, at least to my channel, and I got to see her throughout many of the other communities. An amazing supporter already of so many other channels. She's, from what I got to see so far, an amazing guitarist. It's got a beautiful channel. Think of Me, an Andrew Lloyd Webber cover. Brian Adams, Brian Drums. Sorry, we won't say the Canadian Brian Adams because we might get a strike apparently. All right, Trainwrecks. Martin Kelly, another fantastic creator on YouTube. It's So Easy Craft Dinner. Tobias H. Reese, Earth Day, aka Little Frog. Please go check out Tobias's channel. Chris Lane Sr., Down in a Hole, Alice in Chains cover. Fantastic job, Chris. Gordium 85, aka Pseudoscience, Discordia Volume 5, a nice little mini EP. Bandit Beats BC, The Feeling of Calm Amidst Chaos. Gerson Cardoso Costa, out of Brazil. He actually created the video of my most recent song premiere, A Million Stars Away. It's pretty cool stuff. So I just posted that link. Please go check out this individual. Abe the Band, In Dave We Trust. Abe the Band is another brilliant guitarist. Joey G, Linda Jean and the Whiskey Chicks in concert. Really cool. I think it's about an hour long or a couple hours long. Mark Tanner, Stigmatized, Sonic Grace, The River Is You. Gordon Lee Weaver, Just Let Them Be. I'm gonna go ahead just a few more here. Wesley Media Hub, Molly Reacts to the Horn in 1981. Howling Fret Fumbler, great to see Martin back. I saw him on Thomas's show. He was the featured artist there. Dirty Diesel Live, great rendition of an older track that he did. I got to meet Martin through SWA. Tony McGreal, D. Lynn, Dynamite Throw with Cyrus, Scary Garcia with Funk It All, two amazing bassists and artists. Baker, who is our featured channel for the week, had a premiere. JDL, aka Multinationals, and featuring Colorful Energy, and you'll also see Colorful Energy's link of that track. Multinationals is catching us all by storm, an amazing collaboration of community members. Great stuff. I'm going to stop with Stephen Ewert, another fantastic. I think I saw a post last week, and I don't know if I shouted it out, but Stephen now has 500,000 views on his channel. So really cool stuff.
I tell you, it's crazy the amount of artists that you all keep track of. I know it's a team effort here, Frank, but yeah man, I'm looking at that playlist, 130. I'm just like, wow.
Is that how much there was? Yeah, that's
130 on here.
Wow.
So yeah, no.
There's I mean, with the help of DJ and JJ, like there's so many incredible musicians and talents and creators. It's not all music. Yeah, you've got Niels Hahn Dynasty. You've got so many brilliant creators on YouTube. I just love it. This is you gents talk about family. Trust me when I say this is family. I'm sure Chad's told you this is family to me, with the likes of Justine Kasprick, Rebel Rocker, Bonfire. I saw a comment. He absolutely loves your latest release this week. I think I'll be shouting it out soon. So I'm glad to call you part of family now, gentlemen. And it's so great to meet you.
I'm sorry for not saying it right away, but I really do appreciate all your guys' time. And I do it's hearing that playlist. It says a lot for the internet. Has done a lot for the indie artist and giving us an opportunity to at least express and put our work out there. And I can't say enough for you guys and your time. And I know that's a lot of work that you guys are putting in, and it is really cool that you guys are out there, and I can't express how grateful I am that you guys are out there and doing this for everybody and for just keeping everything going.
Yeah,
So,
Right.
In the past, this would have been way more difficult, but now with YouTube,
Right.
I mean, I remember making 3-song demos and passing them out at the Metro, like, please listen to our songs. But
the internet, yeah, and then
Yeah, and things have changed so quickly too. That's what's so amazing
Yeah.
about it, is that when Andy's talking about so long ago, and you're talking about early 2000s, and to me it's like
Yeah.
yesterday.
yeah, well, I'm 39. I just turned 39 April 22nd. Earth
Yeah.
Day, baby.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's my daughter's birthday. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, Taurus. We're badasses.
Well, fuck, she
You
is.
can tell your daughter we're natural fighters, so you can let her know.
Trust me, she is.
So that's one of the things. It's hearing the story about the meaning behind everything, and then also like the merch that you guys do. I've always been super impressed with the branding of Brothers on Guitar. Y'all have absolutely fantastic merch. I've got one of your shirts. I've been wanting to get the Skunk Ape shirt, and I will one of these days. But like you said, that was just part of that idea of kind of moving forward with it as a business, as opposed to just the art side of it.
Yeah, when it comes to merch and stuff, my friend up north in Chicago, his name is Sean. He helps with a lot of the imaging. He helped with the logo. He helped with a lot of stuff like that. Each image you see on anything from our album art to the shirts, minimum between 6 and 8 hours on each image you see. So if anyone wants to, say,
another side thing, they made that first image, and this is kind of a goofy side note, but I don't know if you guys get into any weird like law of attraction things or anything. You ever pay attention to stuff like that, the mind attracting what it
Oh, yeah.
Well, you being 51, Chad, you remember the Muppet movie?
Yes. of
Remember that
course.
movie, man? When I
course he
first
does.
seen it again, a couple of years ago, and when they panned in and he was in the swamp and it was a frog, I almost fell out of my seat because I didn't have anything much to do with that initial image. I did have things to do with like the asterisks and stuff like that, but anyway, so I felt like I might have been programmed at 5 years old by that film.
There's
Let me
actually
ask
an
something.
original version of that first album cover that Sean did completely on his own that I've never put out. And someday it had the tongue on the frog is actually coming out and it spells out bog and like this weird. That's a cool one that at some time in the future we'll try to figure that one out to get it on a shirt or something, because that one was always, I was like, I just told him, I was like, look, dude, I need a frog. I need the tongue shooting out to spell bog. Yeah, I was just putting 2 and 2 together. Frog, swamp, bog, blah, 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 blah. He was like, sure, no problem, man. Give me a couple days. I'll do it. And then boom, he threw that at me. And I was like, dude, you knocked it out of the park right away. Sent it to him and he was like, oh my God. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Let me ask you guys something. There's quite an Italian influence tonight in this show. Did I hear you mention there was because I've got Bacilli.
Yeah, on my
I've
mother's
got
side,
Cassiano.
we're definitely,
Cassiano and Zuccarello.
Yeah.
yeah. My last name is Phelps. My dad basically married, we got different dads. We're half brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
very
are
cool.
brothers.
We
yeah.
are brothers.
Yeah.
We got pulled over one time by a cop, and we said, "Yeah, we're brothers." And the cop was like, "Yeah, I see the resemblance." What an ass.
I was young. I believed it. But I was like,
Yeah.
No,
And
we're
you got
lying to him. It's like,
married-
"No, dude,
And you got Mary here from Italy. So
Oh, really?
We've got-
Okay.
yeah." Our
quite an
grandfather
Italian
came.
influence tonight's show, and I'm okay with that. Just
Our
saying.
grandfather came over here from Sicily
That's where we're
in
from.
the 1930s.
Wow. That's
To
cool.
Toledo.
Yeah, went right to Toledo to work on
Willie's.
well, no, he also worked out. From what I found out, was he was working on train tracks and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that.
But that is so cool. Yeah.
So, from what AJ was saying, basically the Muppets, specifically Kermit the Frog, was a huge influence on Brothers on Guitar.
Yeah.
That's what I took away.
What they and you know what was even weirder about that law of attraction thing is as the movie progressed. Okay, if you pay attention to that film, Henson's main moral of the story is the law of attraction. The whole thing is I mean, even when when they run into Electric Mayhem, now mind you, I was like 4 years old, so I mean, I'm not sitting there really taking in what the moral is, but their song was "Can You Picture That?" If you still remember any of that when they went inside the church. But then as the movie progressed and I seen Fozzie, it even more made me feel like there was some kind of impression there, you know. I mean, it sounds silly, but I really it's a hard movie to sit through because of, you know, the last time I seen it I was probably about 4 or 5, and then I hadn't seen it a couple of years into this, like I said, after we had the images all up. And
Yeah, no,
It was
that
strange.
that happens to me from time to time. I go back and watch something from when I was a kid, and I was like, "Wait a second," and all these dots are connecting, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whoa!"
if it influences you, if it sticks to you, eventually you will reflect it.
Yeah, it'll show up. It'll show up somewhere.
You just gotta be careful with what's sticking to you. That's the
Right.
It's law of attraction. You gotta be careful.
Right.
Just don't be negative.
Speaking of influences, though, like I said, with your music early on, when I was talking about y'all, there's definitely I feel some grunge in there. I feel some southern heavy rock. I feel some metal in there. I mean, what are influences for you guys?
Chad, man, you and I walked through the same tunnel of time. I mean, MTV was a babysitter for us, our generation. So, I mean, you name it, man. Like anything. I mean, you're nailing it. I mean, because I do cling heavily onto that era. You know, like I love everything Rush, Megadeth, Metallica. You know, Alice in Chains, Foo Fighters. I mean, I was a nerd about being a consumer when I was a kid.
Yeah. How I break it down is he brings the late 80s and the early 90s sound, and I bring the late 90s, early 2000s sound. That's kind of, and then when you listen to him, because I was more into like new metal,
heavy percussion,
Slipknot, Korn, Limp Bizkit, all that new metal stuff that came out from like 95 to 99, early 2000s. Then I started getting into some really heavy stuff, the death metal. And Desecrate the Hour was like a death metal / melodic metal band. I don't know if anyone out there's heard it, probably not. Desecrate the Hour, you can look it up on YouTube.
You guys might have heard of Oceano, though. Have you heard of Oceano?
I'm not familiar with
No, they're a band that came out of our area. Yeah,
I know a few people that have been signed to record labels and stuff like that. So like, it's just one of those things.
We knew enough that it wasn't good.
Yeah. So getting signed isn't as glorious as everyone wants to think it is.
So the new music, the album y'all put out at the end of last year, I could definitely feel the heavier influence coming in. It definitely I felt that y'all started to take the sound that y'all had, and then y'all started to add heavier elements, and then a little bit of experimentation here and there. Was that something you purposely did with that album, or?
Not purposely, but it just kind of worked out that way. And the funny thing is we got a couple songs a little bit ready for the next album, and it's going to get a little bit heavier even, but not super heavy. It's still going to be
friendly.
Yeah, friendly heavy.
Right.
We're basically metalheads that said, you know what, let's try to play some rock and see what happens.
Right.
I love it.
We were aware of what you're saying, Chad. So I was telling Andy, I'm like, well, we go back to those influences, Pantera and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I had said something on the second one. I was like, well, I mean, we don't have really all my friends in there. So,
Bolingbrook. Bolingbrook's like an,
oh yeah.
but Bolingbrook is definitely more of like a end the album song.
Yeah.
That's why we put it at the end.
That's fantastic. You have a question in there, Chad.
Oh,
But I think they.
oh yeah. When did y'all first get guitars? Question from the audience here. Mike and Dawn asking.
Me, I'm the oldest. All right, so I had to get a job and buy one.
Yeah, he was probably in his late teens.
No, I was 18. I was 18. Yeah.
I got my first guitar because of him. He basically seen that I was able to play better than him quickly. So, and so he went to my dad, and said, "Hey, man, you should really get Andy a guitar." And so my dad was like, "I'll get him a guitar, but it's going to be an acoustic, so he can really learn." And you know how people think, oh, whatever. But then a couple years later, I got a Ibanez electric. Once again, that Korn influence. I want an Ibanez, not a 7-string though, but just a regular Ibanez electric guitar. And then the first acoustic I got was just a cheap Jasmine $100 special, but it played very nice.
What did I had to go to Fender Squire.
You had you had an Epiphone, a cheap back when Epiphones were cheap. They're not cheap anymore.
No.
It was like a Squire Epiphone, and then he also had an acoustic. I can't remember the acoustic for the life of me.
It was just a little cheapy.
And then the guitar we use on our recordings now was his third guitar, was an Ibanez RG with EMG pickups in there, and that's what we use now, even on the recordings you've heard.
Here's something also on the first album tracking. Midway through it, okay, after we got through the scratch tracks, we started laying down finals. I was telling Andy, because I was really nitpicky about takes, and I was like, I just want some of our old friends to be like, that isn't AJ playing on the guitar, because I kind of always got messed with a little bit. So
he brings the slop.
He tells me right away. He looks at me. He's like, AJ, I gotta tell you. He's like, some of these tracks, I wonder if it's you playing the freaking guitar.
So we are going to go to the G note, but before we do, Laurie was on to know how many black bears you've taken down, Andy.
I have not taken down any. I've seen them when I was out walking and driving, and when I do go for a walk, I will. I do have to carry a small pistol, so.
I love it.
Well, why don't when we come back, we can talk about some alligators and also the skunk ape.
For sure.
But,
Yeah, I want to know about the skunk ape. So, all right. So, yeah. What do we got? G note.
Yeah, G note. Anything you want to say about that track before we?
G note was a song that I wrote. He actually made the lyrics for it after I had written it. Once again, it was written on acoustic. But I wrote that song probably a couple years back, and then we finally got it on the album for this album that just came out in 24. So I wrote it, he wrote the lyrics, and obviously performed them, and pretty straightforward song. A lot of Seven Dust influence. It's got that bounce.
Yeah.
A little bit of grunge influence on the verse, the but the bass drum follows the guitar really well. But so once again, you're hearing all the elements from the grunge to the new metal to the bounce, all that, the groove.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's one of my favorites of this album. So
right.
good.
Let's give it a spin. G note, folks.
The mind is a vacuum.
And I saw a lot of people digging up, picking up
You're
on
muted,
the,
Frank.
Yeah.
grunge
Oh, there he is.
vibes. But
Yeah, you can definitely tell we are children from the 90s. That's a fact.
yeah.
No denying that.
And I think that's one of the things that, like, instantly when I heard you guys, that I just fell in love with this sound, because I'm such a huge fan of the early 90s grunge and then the late 90s new metal and power metal stuff. And yeah, you'll do a nice
Chad,
job.
I gotta
blending it.
tell you, Chad, that's big for me, because I reaching out to my generation. The fact that you enjoy it and you're really, that's I'm there, man. Brother, that's huge for me. Because my generation, I love listening to my old favorites, but I really wanted to try to make my old favorites that were new favorites, or things that
Right.
just kind of created that old school feel.
Oh
And
yeah.
without, because I love Megadeth, and I can't listen to Rust in Peace anymore. But I still will. I'll listen to it all day.
Right.
But yeah, that was key with the old trying to take us back. I can't build a time machine, but you know how music does that. I want to just constantly make
Right.
stuff that takes you there.
Yeah, that's true. Don't forget us.
We would
old school.
also, really quickly, I'm sorry, Frank.
No, it's
we
all
saw
good.
a couple people leaving comments. Family.
Family.
Can give a shout out to Garrett. You're getting beat when I get home. No.
Joseph and the whole Chili
Yeah,
clan.
Joseph Fathead. That's his nickname. Don't forget it. He's a good roadie. Brother Jason, he helps with a lot of the website presence and stuff like that behind the scenes. He's a tech guy.
They're subliminally are all behind all this. They don't realize
Focus
the
Records.
driving force.
Focus Records is a family thing. We're basically like the mom and pop record label. That's
Family
what
owned
it
and
is.
operated. Yeah,
So
it's not what we do; it's who we are, brother and son.
Whoa,
Awesome.
that's
Awesome.
That is wicked. That is wicked. I do want to mention there is a couple from not far from Floridians. Is that what you call them? Floridians in the chat.
That's
So
what they
Clayton
say.
Von Kluge and Snooks, the young lady that's posting all your links. She's also from Florida.
Nice.
So, and I got a little Gainesville story, and I don't
Yeah,
even know if
Florida,
I
yeah.
should be saying this.
Then
but
you should. Then you should.
Then I should, but I was, and I hope she's not watching, but it's an ex, and I decided to play the good uncle and say, here, kid, take this guitar, and when you come back to Toronto, bring it back with you, because he loved what I was playing, and he wanted to learn a few songs, and I showed him a few chords, and he picked it up pretty good, and I gave him one of my acoustic guitars, and they split up. Never to be seen again. There goes the $300 guitar. That'll learn me.
bands together.
Yeah, I just had to throw that in.
Speaking of Florida artists, Andy's already hung out and seen Jesse Cantrell. There are many people watching that know Jesse. Huge fan of him. Huge fan of him. And they may be doing some shows together, hopefully at some point. Brothers on
wow.
Guitar with Jesse Cantrell.
We are definitely trying. We're on a campaign. This is our phase to really start getting to know the North Florida area. We have been just studio living, so we've only played a couple shows since we released that album, and we
got a lot
really
of-
are. Yeah, we're really. It's a constant, But yeah, right now that is our whole mission. Before we get to recording another album, is at least getting kind of on a first name basis with a lot of the local venues.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. All right, is it okay if I do a
Yeah.
few more shout outs here?
Yep.
And then we'll get into the next. All right, Doug Kidder. I hadn't seen Doug in a while. He's got to put out a nice track. Do you want crying? Katrina and the Waves cover. Really cool stuff. Doug and Ron Ward did a lot of work together. I met Doug through Ron. Awesome talent. Michael, aka Zealand, another Canadian fantastic musician, Hiroshima. You gotta check this out. The video, the music is just incredible. One of the better songs that I heard all year, I must say. Jim Hebert, Niels Hahn Dynasty. Like I said, there's a lot of channels on this playlist that I want to shout out. Niels Hahn Dynasty did an Anglo-American April 24th. Happy birthday, Neil. Neil does a lot of great stuff out there, and he has a lot of interesting things to say, but we love him for his love for cats. I love the shorts, Neil. All right, Synthworks SWX. Lori's Mishmash Maria Blondie International cover. UFC Baba was the featured channel last week. An amazing talent, another family band out of Turkey. Really cool. 7 letters of C's. Costa, TSL Costa, our good friend, well known in this community. I'm Not Made of Stone, a live performance, and Costa also played on Indie Show. I think it was last week or the week before, sorry. I watched it on replay. Mark Wade and Hurricane Moon. Greg Hutto, who a lot of people in the chat said there's a little bit of similarity there. Gary Schaefer, the Pickin' Pilots. Sanity ain't what it used to be, and he's so damn right. John Schur, Little Wing. Hobbs, Escape Velocity. Just so many amazing talents. Live to Fly did a cover of David Crosby's Laughing. Anthony Rufo, who's in the chat. Funky Monday. Rainfield Music did an amazing cover, family band again, of House of the Rising Sun. John Lemon and Lemonade, I think, will be the feature channel next week or the week after. We're working on a montage, something special together. I love John, an amazing poet, amazing musician, producer. Stranger Come to Light, Alaskan rock star, Forest of the Wolf, Take a Short Break. Paula Benson had a beautiful little show for about an hour. So professional. I'm telling you, if you have a bad day, all you have to do is just go to any one of Paula's posts, and you're guaranteed to smile and fill you with joy. Joe and Barry Glenn, Bonnie at Morn, remix of 2025 remix. All of Joe, it's a beautiful, beautiful traditional song, mixed and mastered by none other than Jade Starr. Rhodey's Jam Cave had a live post of Bears Gone Fishing. Dwight the Hitman Bailey, busy again this week. He likes to put out guitar and bass tracks. Magic Looking Glass. Emery Island. Rose Ackerman, who was in the chat, another brilliant guitarist. Drew the Genius, Day One, a really cool rap. Noura's Guitar channel. Noura's Guitar channel is amazing. Again, I say this every week for any beginner out there that just wants to learn some strumming to some pretty up-to-date music. It's really cool stuff he does. Paz and Guitars, who's been in the chat all night. Thank you very much, Paz. Is a brilliant talent. And we got to mention Lori every Friday does her backing track challenge. And this week, I don't think I saw Blue Gruberus, but we have Hugh Caldwell and Cubic Lover 1972 rock and roll backing track. Yeah, so please go check out Lori's Mishmash Friday Night Hang. Yeah, I'm going to stop there.
You mentioned Paws and guitars. I love this comment. They said, I bet that tent says MASH on it. So the tent you guys are in Is it a mash tent,
Oh,
AJ?
yeah.
No, just a regular green tent. But
I wish.
he's got a mash. He does have a mash shirt though.
Yeah. My grandfather was a big Elvis fan, so I always have those little TCB with the lightning thing. Those are around, but a lot of folks, because it's so throwback, they don't know. I mean, I got one on the back of my phone too, and a lot of folks
Nice.
don't know.
Nice. You were talking before the show about seeing alligators and such of that, and actually going swimming and seeing the alligators, and they don't bother you. Just talk a little bit about that type of experience.
Yeah.
growing up down here, when you're allowed to ride around motorcycles. I mean, the enforcement isn't like when you grow up in the city where they'll take your motorcycle away if you're riding around a dirt bike. Here, they're just don't go on anybody's land, so you can just go out into the woods. And like I was saying, there's lakes all over the place. I mean, when I was a kid out here, you pretty much could swim in any one you wanted to. Now, during certain parts of the year, you got to be careful because if they're nesting, they'll come after you. They'll come after you strong. They're fast.
Mating season. What's that?
Yeah.
During the winter, I think they're all over the place. You know?
But yeah, you'll swim around, you'll see them, but they're skittish. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not like crocodiles. Where
Yeah,
they're
crocodiles.
aggressive. Yeah,
The crocodiles are the ones that'll search you out and rip you in half.
but that is children by the water side is no good, because that is the issues that's happened out here. But for the most part, yeah, you don't. It's not something that you fear. I've seen people out here tame them once or twice. I've seen it where I was like, "What the?" And they would be able to get near it and actually lap dog it, and it not do anything but eat out of their hand. But that's a very
Yeah, you're still taking a risk.
that's a very rare.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't take that risk.
But as for fishing, this is like a #1 spot for that too. My brother there a few years back, he was listening. He was like, "We need to get a good fishing game." And I'm like, "Jason, we're like at the #1 spot. People go on vacation to go bass fishing here. So here we're running around trying to catch fish in the middle of the day, and out here in the middle of the day, you can swim down a good 5 feet, and the water's like 80 degrees. So the fish ain't doing anything unless you're out there at like 3 in the morning. So yeah, he ain't rolling out of bed until 3 in the morning on the weekend.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
And what about the skunk ape? Have you ever seen the skunk ape? Either
Oh
one.
yeah, that's what
He
I
does.
wanna know
He
about.
does session drumming for us. That's why the drums are so powerful, man. He's
Yeah.
got some big legs. That bass drum, he's just hitting.
Yeah, he's always hiding out. Yeah. That's the
For-
deal. He's
for-
always,
For people that don't know, tell everybody a little bit about what the skunk ape is.
he's just Florida's Bigfoot, but he's more of a kind of an ape dude. You know, there's mixed things, but every time you see a picture, it's more of a gorilla-looking guy, and I guess he carries around a stench.
Yeah. So you know when the skunk ape's around because you'll smell something a little skunky.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, okay, what's he doing?
Yeah. Had we thought about it beforehand, we would have got somebody in a ape costume to sneak up behind y'all while we're live, freak everybody out.
We actually thought about using him as a mascot. It's funny you mention him because I had said another huge thing with the whole dog thing. I was like, wow, it's just kind of like an endless. There's just an endless plethora of art ideas. I mean, because it is nature driven, you know. And I mean,
Right.
you got a dragonfly, a frog, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, just
But you know, a lot of people use the skunk ape now, so we're just like,
Yeah.
we'll make a shirt, we'll make it look cool.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. We won't overutilize them. Yeah.
Right.
It's just one of them things. But yeah, another thing that you didn't bring up, Chad, our record label, there's even meaning behind that name. I mean, obviously it's the combination of both our last names, Phelps and Cassiano, but originally when I was trying to think up a name, I seen this name Felkus, spelled Felkas, I guess it's like an Eastern European girl's name, which means luck. So I was like, well, man, if we combine our two last names, it sounds something like Falcus. And then I was like, well, what's a musical animal? Well, a cricket. That's why the emblem is like a cricket. So basically, it's luck and music. That's just another one of those little gems that I put together. And of course, I called Sean up like, man, I need you to make it look like, kind of like the NBA logo. It's just an outline with the white color. He was like, all right, man, all right. I'll get back to you.
The art and the merch, what I do with that is I figure, like, even if you're not like a fan, you'll get it and be like satisfied, or there's an argument over like, that's my shirt, so I wanted it to be like high quality and cool, like
Right.
something that was, because when I was a kid, images, how it was with like Iron Maiden. I had a friend when I was like in middle school where there wasn't a piece of it, and they had great words on play, like that one live one in Japan was made in Japan.
Oh,
I mean, I was a young kid and I knew that was gold. I was like, man, they had a lot of good,
yeah. So we definitely wanted to take a page from their book when it came to like putting out really nice merchandise,
Yeah.
nice looking art, and we try to keep the price very fair.
just
So
fun and swampy.
So
Love it.
we're gonna go to Bolingbrook. This was another one of yours, Andy. Is that right?
yeah, this was another one I wrote. Originally, it was set to a much slower tempo, and I was like, man, what if I boost that tempo up to about 204 or something, and then it became what it is. So gave it a little bit more life, and then he once again he came up with all the lyrics himself and sang to it. So
When Andy brings me something, like to me, it's like a puzzle. I wanna see if I can give it something, Like I don't want to like be lazy. Like I try really hard to try to see if I could, like, because all my favorites were like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. So that was something that whenever he brings me something, I kind of
plus I'm right there in the studio with them, smacking them around like,
yeah.
sing mother. No,
All right.
but yeah, it's
Let's
basically a
give it-
song about the town we grew up in, Bolingbrook. We separated the two words, Bowling Brook.
And anyone that was from there has the song that they, they would know where we lived. They would know where all these things were. Because I
That's
try
true,
to
yeah.
stay real detail on the new verses on where each part is. So if they were someone from that area would know exactly everything that would be singing to them. And then with the chorus, I just tried to speak to, again, our generation.
Yeah, MTV.
Yeah, where everybody's together.
I love what you said. MTV was our babysitter. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just a classic line. I've never.
It was the
heard.
backdrop
Yeah.
of our lives. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's just amazing. All right, Bolingbrook, let's give it a spin.
From bluff to frontier.
Wow.
Yeah. Jam Unleashed. Mentioned the wonky cassette reels.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it
What
would
is that,
sit.
man?
One of the
That's
funny things with that
perfect.
It was only
visualizer.
$10.99, man.
It's what am I doing on the internet? It says.
I love it. I love it. All right, before we get into that, I'm going to continue with some shout-outs first, and then we'll get started on these next segments. Upcoming, what do we got here? Okay, so first we want to celebrate Scotty Butters, 600 subscribers. Very well done, Scotty. Scotty's going to be on the show, I think, in 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome. He's
Yeah.
so good.
It's going to be a fantastic show. And Scotty's on every Tuesday live, I think around 9 o'clock. Do I got it right? Somewhere around there. And let's not forget, Camp Gmail did send me a little promo reel, but the one that I've got downloaded was, I just saw his email just before the show started that he had sent the wrong one. But once the show starts, I can't slow down my system. But I'm going to post it on my channel this week. So please, everybody, Flower Fest 2025, Saturday, May 3rd. I wish I could attend, but it's my grandson's first birthday, and it's a big thing because he's my first grandson, and I ain't missing it for nothing.
Yeah,
right.
great. I was going to say real quick, I'm looking at it. Emotion New Soul, Brad Example, Mike Molino, Mr. Smith, Sunshine Archer. Super excited about that. Will D, Dom Father, Michael Songs, Rich News Design, Scotty Butters, Axon Nacho, Emperism, and Alila. So,
Thank
yeah,
you
it's
very
gonna be
much,
great.
Chad. If you wanted to, if you want to set it up on cue, we could play it. If you got time to set it up, we'll play a little commercial for it. Also, Monday, May 5th, or next Monday, sorry, that's our show. The 61st edition features Red Heaven, a Canadian artist, co-hosted by an Australian artist, Lizaday, which I believe I met through
Awesome.
Chad. Yeah, so that's going to be a fantastic show. We have a little section here we call Doing for Other, and I know there's so many of you out there in our community that do so much for one another. But I like to shout out Dan Anderson, Lene Perez, Read Between the Lines, Rebel Rocker, Feisty Feathered, DJ Big Red 81, for everything you do, brother. The show wouldn't be the same without you. Crimson Crux and Mike and Don Genesi music. We've got some fantastic mentions. I'm going to finish this off so I don't have to interrupt the artists here. The mentions, there's so much going on now every day of the week, and I think I'm going to try a new format. So if I could have people's cooperation, who's ever got a consistent stream, send me an email or DJ Big Red, and we're going to start to read off Monday through Sunday, shows and events and whatnot. Valerie Bott, Fridays is just madness, beautiful madness. Valerie Bott kicks it off at, I think Dan Anderson kicks it off at 1 p.m. Then we got Valerie Bott, followed by Charlie Gabaldon. And then we have a little break until I know Hippie will be back. Independent Many United starts at 8 o'clock. At 8:30 you have Mr. Smith. He's got a fantastic show. Sound Sessions 12 will be is on tap for this week. At 10 o'clock you have Pole Vault and Sunshine Archer with the weekend warm-up. And then that's you also have Freedom Redbird, Friday night music and fun. She has a lot of people. It's starting to grow. A lot of people are coming up on her panel, singing, playing live. It's another, like I said, Friday nights. It doesn't stop there. It goes right into Laurie's Mishmash at midnight, Friday night hang, followed by Gary Hubbs, the parking lot warrior, my bandmate from Ninth Gate. And then that's followed by Leela Verse. And that's where it finally ends. But Frankie is lights out by 10:30 because I'm old. All right, but that's midnight show at 3:15. Just some amazing talents and amazing stuff. Saturdays is another just wild night. You've got Thomas Christ playing live. You got Jade Starr playing live. Pete Johns. Chad's gonna have some stuff going on Saturdays, and it's actually Chad's channel. Whatever he has going on usually kicks off the Saturday afternoon. You also have the Nut House. Now it's become my favorite show on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock before I jump over to Camp Gmail once again if I'm awake. But this week I was watching my Leafs, so I missed everything Saturday night. The Nut House. Hetriani, I forgot to mention, somewhere around, I watched the whole show on replay. That's how much I love Peanuts' show. Somewhere around the 46 minutes, he's got a little thing with Hetriani in it. And I had it time-stamped, and I forgot to send it to you. Please go check it out. I think it's at the 46 minute, and then somewhere around the 54th. He's got a cartoon of Hetriani talking, and he's just strumming the guitar. It's freaking hilarious. All right, I just love that show. Sorry. Niels Han Dynasty, I mentioned earlier. SC Wolverines. And yeah, we're almost done here. There's just so much. JM Unleashed every Monday at 5 p.m. And JM is actually putting out some pretty cool creations using the AI format. Really good stuff, JM. Another great Canadian. Ali Patches and Rich New Designs have got amazing stuff going on their channel, individually and together. Just love what they're putting out. Dom Torregrossa is up every Thursday and Sunday night. He has a great show that starts at 9 o'clock Sundays. Chris Lane Sr., what can you say about Chris? Chris is everywhere. He's an amazing supporter. He's just such a fantastic individual and a great talent. Accent Nacho is going to be on tonight at 11 o'clock. The Falcro, the Mix Club, Newer's Guitar Channel, I shouted out earlier, and Michael Songs. So, and let's not forget some of these streaming, karaoke streaming channel, Miss High and Pendar, Javel de Putzis, Pendar and Miss High is on Saturday nights. Javel de Putzis is on Friday morning. This is Eastern. Mr. B's Music Addiction, Deb's Wood Burning Stove. There are so many amazing channels out there. And that'll do for my shoutouts.
There really are. There's so many great streamers. And so much stuff that you would go crazy if you were trying to watch every single bit of it and keep up with all of it. At one time I was trying, but I kind of gave up on that. You can't. It's way too much.
Oh, and don't kid yourself. I'm shouting out all these. I wish I could attend all the long streams that go on for a bit.
Right.
I jump throughout the day to listen to premieres, the 5-6 minute songs or whatever they are. But the long streams, I need to pick and choose when I can jump in and out.
Yep.
So, but I'm glad I caught Peanuts. I just couldn't leave it once at the Nut House. I
haven't seen that one yet. I've subbed up, but I haven't caught it live. I'll have to do that.
Nuts. I mean, she was in it too.
And not to forget, this Friday is BANDCAMP Friday. So BANDCAMP Friday is this Friday. So I saw some BANDCAMP links being dropped for Brothers on Guitar and some of the others.
Nobody else's, just mine.
But don't forget, Friday, you want to buy something this week from one of these indie artists, make sure you do it on this Friday because it's BANDCAMP Friday, and 93% of the proceeds or something go to the artist. So yeah, no, it's definitely the way to go. So BANDCAMP. Wanted to ask both of you, AJ and Andy, where do you get the inspiration for your music, whether it's the music itself or it is the lyrics?
Me, dude, it's really simple. I literally just sit down with a guitar and start playing, and I'll play and play and play, and the songs just come out of my fingers, and that's no bullshit. Sorry, I didn't say that. Frank. It really is that simple for me. I sit down, I play. I don't write many lyrics. There's only one song on the new album that I did write lyrics for, and that was Just Breathe. That song is completely mine, lyrics and everything. And literally, I was driving home from work, going to the gas station, and I thought up all those lyrics in like a 15-minute time period. I don't know how it just happened. That song is obviously, it's like an anxiety type song. It's about anxiety, stuff like that. I'm sure you probably figured that out by hearing the lyrics. And then I showed him the lyrics while we were in the studio, and he obviously changed a couple small things just so the words would work a little bit better. Nothing crazy, just so words would work better together. Because sometimes when you're syllable counts, yeah, things like that. But yeah, I sit down, I play for many hours, and songs come out.
So, and I hear that with many artists, that basically it just kind of comes to them, and it's bigger than them. It's just working through them, basically. It's like the song's already there, and it's just kind of you're being used as a channel. Yeah.
One thing that helps too is if you, with guitar at least, for all the guitar players out there, play in many different tunings. I found that when you do that, you find a bunch of crazy stuff, and then just find it wherever you put it, wherever you want to put it, whatever tuning you want to use. Sometimes when you use a different tuning on the guitar, even something really wonky, you'd be surprised at how something just will appear and be like, man, I'm going to try that in my normal tuning, and it sounds cool, and you're like, oh man, that's awesome. Boom, let's go.
That's so well said. And, that's just amazing. You're the first person that I've heard say that. Many people say, what's the key? I'm always stuck and I can't think of, grab a tissue box, wrap it around with a bunch of elastics in every direction, and start hitting it. And it's the same theory as the tuning your guitar. You're just going to get a different sound, and you're going to be amazed at what comes out. Do you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah, you find all sorts of weird stuff because you will get stuck in a rut if you're just using the same tuning and the same over and over again. Especially on guitar, I find that if you just switch it up, you'll find different things, and then you can try it on your old tuning and see how it sounds.
Yeah.
Things work.
Yeah,
amazing.
I got a little of both. I do feel like you were saying I'm uncovering, because certain songs are written in a couple minutes. Like the chorus to Gator's, no, that one just bounced out. The riff did too, man. I remember just kind of so it wasn't. Man, I don't want to sound corny, but I give it all to God. We're all just spirits. We're all just borrowing divine. So, like we were talking about that law of attraction and the ultimate sound, I think you're focusing on it. And then at the same time, like I was saying, you don't feel like you really ever know any. The mystery of music, man. I feel hard. You know what I mean? Everything is real. You know what I mean? I feel bad for people that find their way in this craft at a young age, because they say it's therapeutic, but it also keeps everything surface.
Yeah.
As you can tell, Chad, AJ's definitely the more artistic type.
It's always, look, I've always been the dreamer one.
He's the dreamer one. I'm the one that's got to be like, all right, listen up, calm down.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask about that. As far as brothers can butt heads, brothers can be best friends and get along great. So how's the partnership with you guys?
The action's not bad, but there's going to be moments where it's just like it's a little. It never gets too heated, but plus we're older, so it's a lot easier to kind of we figured out once you get past a certain age, we realize how to deal with emotions better.
My brothers and I, we're close. I've had friends that had brothers that fought, and they would actually ask, "Why and do you guys ever fight?" It's like we do, but not. It's almost. it's who we got.
It's never
You
serious.
know what I mean? That's the way I always see it.
Yeah.
My brother is my keeper.
Yeah.
You know, so we have our moments. Like just the other day, we had a moment playing live because, like, I feel like the bass too loud.
He was trying to rock star it. He was over here like, he was like, "Oh, turn down my mic. I'm trying to turn it down. It sounds like I'm getting louder." And I'm over here like, "All right, fucking Stevie Wonder."
So yeah, that's the gist of it. That's like we don't really
Another funny story was in the studio because I do all the solos, guitar solos and stuff. And one time he's like, the whole time he's saying to me, "You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that." And I threw my hands up in there and I was like, "Dude, you got a bass player playing guitar solos. What the hell are you thinking? What are you doing?"
So yeah, we don't really
So
do it. I think that's why a lot of music is a family thing. It's funny you say that. I think that the bands I've been in, when they did break up, it was that type of where people really started seeing things differently type thing, you know. But anyway,
yeah. Well, you had mentioned Gator's Rome, and that one was one that just kind of came to you as far as the writing.
yeah, I was just trying to, because again, I try to stay with that deliverance type theme.
Awesome.
I mean,
Awesome.
because we are in a place where it is. I remember when I first brought my son's mom down here when I was in my young 20s, and she's from the Chicagoland area, and she's never seen dirt roads. I mean, a lot of these kids in Chicago growing up, they know the country, but they don't know this kind of country, and when they first see it, they're a little struck by it because we do have the swampy feel, and it's very picturesque. And then we have the moss and the trees, and then the massive dirt roads, and you'll feel like you're in the, so yeah.
But no, yeah, Gator's Rome was all him. He was like, "Man, we really need a song for this next album that's kind of like a bog, but it has more of a theme for the area." And that's Gator's Rome came out of that.
Yeah. I'm a family. I try to, I always try to keep that in there. So
Why don't we go ahead and go to that one?
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I was actually waiting for the mishmash to come up.
Okay.
Probably having the smoke. No, only because I have this preset. So I forgot to mention when I give you guys the order of the songs, and I wanted to continue hearing about this. That this is we got the break in between the 4 songs where we have the pianists and composers segment of the show.
Okay.
And right on cue.
Hello, how are you? I didn't want to pop in while the guys were talking.
Okay, now you got to be careful with what words you use during the pianist and composers section.
Me?
Yeah. Don't make this too hard on ourselves.
Hard?
All right. So all joking aside, this is our favorite segment. Right from day one, I always thought the pianists and composers of our communities don't get enough love. I actually spoke to a couple people, artists that were sincere about that. They were actually going to leave YouTube because of, they would go streaming and nobody would come.
Yeah.
For me, the piano, it just brought an emotion out of me that no other instrument does. And I just want to give it the utmost respect. The problem is with my Italian accent.
Italian.
Canadian Italian accent. I can't pronounce penis the way others want it to sound. So I don't care. It is the pianists and composers of our communities. And this is the time where everybody
I just say keyboard players. It's fine.
No,
Right? Isn't
they're
that easy?
pianists. They're pianists.
Pianist.
And so let's just play a beautiful piano piece by Donna Mitchell, and it features all the pianists that I like to promote throughout the show. And please go offer up some support. Snooks and we'll be posting all the links. Thank you.
Oh God.
Behave, Lori. Wow, that is so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Definitely.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful. And you people are very immature.
I see all those
Okay.
people in the chat. Yeah.
Listen, any comments that you've seen in the chat, that's not me. That's Lori
good stuff.
posing as me.
I love that. Sorry,
I don't
Frankie.
know how she does it, but it's
Oh
not
God.
me.
Oh gosh.
Humping to please.
Brett.
Great.
That's Brett.
Oh, is that Brett? I was going to say.
This is the part of the show that goes downhill, guys. But
Yeah.
you guys are doing great. I love hearing the stories in the interview. I love hearing the rain
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
I
why
brought
keep
this.
muting.
to fit in with you guys. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
You're more,
Now we're all-
It is.
Now we're
you're
all
more than
camo.
welcome to
That.
stay up.
What's
There
that?
it is.
You're more than welcome to stay on, as long as you like.
No. I'll let the guys talk. Nope.
No,
All right.
no. You can,
Dom-
jump in
The
at
Dom
any time.
Father. As I
No.
said, everybody,
No,
please go check out Dom's new show Sundays at
Sundays.
9.
Yeah.
A fantastic show.
He's good on the acoustic.
Yeah,
What's up? Waka waka.
he's
Yeah,
just
really good on
amazing.
that acoustic.
Yeah, Dom sounds so fantastic. He's got such a great sound. He really does.
And that's really amazing of you, Chad. We had a conversation, and I will call you out on it. Amazing that you're giving Dom some space, and you're gonna adjust your time. You're just an amazing guy.
Oh yeah. I mean, me and Dom even talked about it, but before he even messaged me, he started. He was looking for a place on Sundays, and I, took Sundays off because I was in that time slot a little later, starting at 11, and then he started doing. Well, he did it as a pop up, and then I guess he decided, hey, this works for me. So we talked about it. And yeah, if I come back on Sundays, it's going to be right after his show. So instead of at 11, it'll be at midnight for me. So
Cool.
So now we're getting a busy Sunday night too. We go
Yes.
from Jade to Pete to Francis, the replay to Dom, and to Chad. So
There's no
amazing.
there's no night where there's really
Yeah.
any time that there's not something cool to watch. Honestly,
And like you said, Chad, we can't make it to all of them. We can try
Yeah.
or watch replays, but yeah,
yes.
I think everybody
Yeah.
understands. I love
Yeah,
watching
for sure.
Dom, but I was at the replay, but they only do it every other Sunday, so I'll watch Dom every other Sunday.
Yeah, and that's what I'm planning on doing as well. Yeah, because I missed it this week. I saw Dom's last week. But yeah, very cool stuff. Love all
Cool.
the creators. All right. We were talking a lot about Gator's Rome.
Yeah,
and
Gator's Rome.
I mean, I could talk about your music forever, or listen to you talk about it forever. What you guys do is it's your sound. I'm not one of those, hey man, sounds like this. But you get vibes of there was a band when you talk about the 80s that blew me away when they came into the scene, and they were called Rat.
Ooh, you
And-
like Rat?
Mhm.
Oh, fuck, do I love Rat.
I love
they
Rat.
had what,
Yeah,
4 albums,
Rat-
and
Rat
they
had
had
some
the
great
one
ones,
song on every album. That was just a smasher. But you guys, and again, I'm not saying you sound like Rat, but it's you've got that drive in your music that Black Widow. You know, when I listen to that, that's just fucking. I was listening to listen to me getting excited. I was listening to it in my car, and I had it cranked, and then I had to, you know, how hard it is to hit the replay on the YouTube and listen to it again. It was just, all right, now I'm at a stoplight, and I got to roll up the windows because I'm 61 years old, and
That's when you roll them down. No, you get to the stoplight, you're rolling down.
yeah. But it's just amazing. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
So you guys are young. You like the 90s, which I love. I was in
we
high school.
really try.
Well, I was in high school in the late 80s, but yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing I heard when I heard your music. I'm like, yeah, it's got that 90s feel.
Right.
Yeah, I tried it. Like I say, I felt I can't. Time machine. But I work hard to try to do that for.
So
You know,
the,
because look,
so the
we're
music
always-
takes you back in time.
We're always looking back, you know, and I felt irresponsible that we're looking back, and we have the power to make it all happen now. You know,
Awesome.
like we have our hand on the wheel, you know. So I look back, and Andy made a good point the other day, trying not to stare. And that's really like the sound I try to shoot for. Like,
Yeah, I got that from my uncle Dan. It's good to look in the past, just don't stare too long, you know.
Yeah.
but I really, and you guys enjoying
said.
it. That's huge for me. I mean,
Good.
yeah.
Well, that's
I'm
how
that
it comes
kid
across.
that everybody was like, you know, why are you still doing that? I'm that kid. I am. I you know, my son's mom kind of laughs that I still, because there was times where she would even be like, you know, like, what are you doing with that thing? Would you put that thing down? So,
Talking about the guitar.
yeah, the guitar.
Not the keyboard segment that you were.
But yeah,
Probably that too. What are you doing? Get out of here with that.
so it's really cool that people are having fun with it. It really, you know, and then again, that folks my age are like, yeah, it reminds me of this and that. It's like, oh man, that's huge.
That's what you wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome.
Here's a great
Yeah,
question before
good
we
question.
go. Yeah, right into the song. This is awesome.
So, both of you, what gives you the most satisfaction when creating music?
When it's done. When it's done and the finished product is right there and you get to hear everything you put into it. That's my favorite part. You know, hearing it come together and stuff, and then when it's finished and it's exactly how you wanted it. And sometimes maybe it's not exactly how you wanted it, but it's still good. You just enjoy it. And that's definitely what I get the most enjoyment out of it.
Me, I'll give you guys like inside. I mean, I'm all about hard work because I'm doing everything now that I was afraid to do when I was younger. So the writing, the guitar playing, the singing. So it's because there was times during this whole process where I would doubt, like, even at my age, and then I would like hard work through it because I believe if you're willing to learn, and it's all there. So it's the hard work, it's the grind. The more I'm like, ugh, the more I'm like, yeah, you know. So
I love it. I love it. All right, let's play this next track.
Hi, Rose.
Rome, and yeah.
And hopefully a gator roams up behind him before the show's
We'll
over.
let you know.
Hopefully. You're mean.
Hopefully Chad wants. Chad loves his horror.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Gator's room.
From the
Heck yeah.
I got so into it. I forgot I had a job to do.
I
Yeah.
even
Awesome,
I
guys.
even, like that's kind of a favorite for me to play and sing.
That is a fun song
That's
to
a
play.
fun
That's an
song.
awesome one live. We pulled that one off pretty good, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
love-
like Alice in Chains, Rage Against the Machine. I don't know. I'm trying to think of these 90s ones that I used to wear my combat boots with. Yes, I used to wear combat boots. 1 month.
By the way, since you're up here, Lori, can you say swampy for me? How do
The
you
way
say
I
swamp?
spelt it?
Yes.
Or Schwampy.
Swampy. I knew what she was trying to say.
That was so
Swampy.
swampy.
And
Well,
then
Frank said
Frank said, yeah, swampany. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Now, you guys, you call yourselves that, so you don't take offense when people talk about the swamp and all that, right?
Absolutely
No,
not.
that'd
It's
be
self-described.
ridiculous. No, of course
Okay.
not.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, we poke fun at it ourselves. That's kind of
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty. of it.
Everyone likes to talk about Florida
That's weird.
man, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we got a good mixture in the family too. We got the Chicago feel, and then we got the FA feel too. The FAA, right? Yeah, raising the pigs and
Yeah.
so yeah,
I love it.
And you have
the
family
pigs,
from Sicily,
and
so that's good too.
swapping. Yeah.
When our nephews show off pigs and stuff like that at the local fairs and stuff.
So no, we
You gotta love that.
Yeah, you got to get together a video like a kind of a Florida man and swampy like clips and things like that.
it's
Um,
coming.
Yeah, we're working on all that stuff.
We
Yeah.
are getting set to start coming out with videos here in the next, let's say, 6 or so months. Yeah, we're in that phase. That's the next
Awesome.
deal. Is
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of AI out there now that you can make these creatures from.
Live shows
That's
and
true.
videos. That's the next step.
Like a skunk ape and everything. Yeah.
Oh, we got a question.
Good question.
Yeah. So, what legacy do you hope to leave with your music?
At this point, man, just the music. People in my family and friends that are close to me already care about me enough. At this point, it's just about leaving the music, and hopefully people enjoy it. That's all I care about. Hopefully people enjoy it, and if they don't enjoy it, maybe someday I will write a song that individual may like. Hopefully.
Nice.
Right.
Well, and that's why YouTube's great and BANDCAMP, because once we're gone, that's all there still, The legacy of your music.
it's for me. It's been family. I mean, I'm the oldest grandchild, and feels like it's the fourth quarter. I've lost a lot of aunts and uncles.
Mhm.
That anyway. So I mean, the legacy is just. I joke around with Andy saying, maybe our great greats or someone will look at some of this stuff and just like in Back to the Future, like they had to use their hands. I mean,
Yeah.
and how silly it is. Like you were saying, the swamp thing, just that whole, because that isn't something that we grew up where grades and stuff like that were black and white pictures. Like we got a really gift here with this internet world where we're not going to be in a black and white format where people are, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
we're going to live on through all this
Yeah,
stuff.
they can
So
actually see our personalities. Where when you're watching the old footage, you don't know what that person's like.
Right.
It just-
Right.
you just, you don't know.
So yeah, it's just sharing good times and with good folks and
Awesome. Although we're going to look weird to the great generations after
Oh yeah,
us.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
We may be real, but to them
Definitely.
we'll probably look fake. Yeah.
Right.
Because like I was saying, even I mean, if they're still using contemporary hand, I mean, who knows?
yeah. There's no way to guess it at this point.
But where we're going now, it seems like everything is going very AI and very where we always say, we joke around saying we're late to the party. We joke around about that a lot. Like we're doing all
No, you're
this
not.
now, and it's the world is just different when it comes to even music. Like when we were kids, what do you listen to? And
Yeah,
there's a plethora of things from In Excess to I mean, there was just endless, and now I don't really.
Yeah, we used to actually sit down with the whole damn album and read stuff, and look at the pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it seems more like background music for like younger people.
And the artists that are like on the top are there way longer than the 4-year stretches we grew up. That
back in the day, 3 years you were done. Get out.
Yeah. It was like around, like as soon as it was like a high school cycle. As soon as they would come up in your middle school, and then they would progress to a certain height, and then. But now you see like some of these acts that are touring. I mean, it's
they're coming in.
So it's a strange industry right now.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It is weird because if you think about it, the attention span has gotten so short, but at the same time, the ability to stick around for so much longer as an artist has.
People are way.
We called it niches at first, but we started to realize it's not tunnel vision of radio and MTV anymore. It's more of an open door where people, and we joke around about how after the music industry kind of took its fall the past 15 so years, the major labels and everything, how it's kicked back down to a blue collar job. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this is, like
bringing jazz
everybody's
back to the
independent
working man, baby.
Right. Yeah.
You don't need a label anymore. Yeah, with all the social media.
You just make your own. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They don't do much for you. And like I said, I know a few people that got signed. They literally nowadays, they might give you $10,000 if you're lucky that you got to pay taxes on, and they expect you to use that $10,000 to go to the studio, tour, and everything else. They don't give you much help. When I was coming up in the early 2000s, they weren't giving you much help. Now they really don't give you much help.
Right.
So whatever.
Yeah.
You make more money on your own, and you can do what you want, right?
Yeah.
Or style.
Not bound by anything. If you do start to see any type of draw or demand or pull,
they'll come pulling up. But
it's not something like you have control of your work. Like you were saying, you don't really have to. You can start writing polka if you want. No one's gonna.
Yeah.
You're not gonna show up overdosed. I mean, that's another ugly side of the business when it comes to that big label stuff. Anyway, but yeah. Right.
Well, I'm so happy you guys do what you do. I instantly fell in love with the sound, the style, and then knowing all the different layers behind the name and everything. It's just so interesting. So I really think that what you guys are doing is absolutely fantastic, and I
you get a cool
can't wait
package.
to see you develop and just see what you do next.
We appreciate your guys', that's.
we were really
very
happy.
grateful, for that kind of, you guys enjoying it. I mean, that's.
Yeah, we're really happy being here. That's thank you guys.
Yeah, we were looking forward to it big time. You guys, I can't tell you, family's all watching everything. Yeah, so.
Awesome.
You know what?
Oh God, could be a bad thing once I came on.
And everybody out there was looking forward to catching you.
Yeah.
Especially when it's somebody relatively new. Like I said, we have it's like, I don't know, 5 communities. I'm just putting a number out there that have all come together, but yet there's still little pockets where some, slowly are traveling outside of each community, and it's really starting to blossom. So having you on, and I do remember you on Chad's show a couple years ago, and but having you on to this show and introducing you to some of the, I'm fairly new, so we got the Pete Johns, who I wish, and Thomas Christ, who I wish you both send some of your music to.
I actually have a couple of songs I sent to them in the past that they played. I gotta get more consistent with that stuff though. But I've been.
Yeah. But these great people on here, like Frank is saying, we meet people through other communities, and all of a sudden we're just growing more and more.
Yeah.
Expanding. It's awesome.
But it's just beautiful to be in a position, and I'm sure Chad and Lori can say the same thing, just to be in a position to be able to share an artist to others and introduce.
I love it.
Such a joy. And the audience, like the the everybody out there is loving it as well. Like in a couple weeks, we're gonna. I mean, tomorrow night I'm gonna be discussing with adorable Anarchy, who's in the chat right now, to get her up. There's another brilliant classic guitarist
Awesome.
and artist. It's just beautiful. I love this community, and you guys are just amazing, and your personalities. It's everything what this community is all about. Like you guys fit the bill. It's just perfect, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
I gotta say,
Hi,
we another one of our little things is that we're not about fans or anything like that. It's friends and family. It's all
Yes.
friends and family.
I mean,
We're brothers on guitar, you know what I mean? So
fans are cool too. If someone wants to be a fan, don't. You know. But the whole idea, like, but like the whole like idea of the rock star mentality, that's long gone.
I grew up big brother.
'Cause we're not
oldest
20
cousin.
year old, like, you know. That's
I
for
know
when
a
you're
couple
20 and you
people
think
like that.
your shit don't stink, and
Right.
we're way past that, the whole rock star attitude bullshit.
Well, and I
You
think
just-
that's the majority of our community too. Like we know we're all doing this for fun. We're not going up for a record deal. You know, we're entertaining. We're meeting friends. I mean, maybe somebody is, and that's okay. But
Yeah.
we're too old for that. I am. I wanted to
Yeah,
address
we-
what Dawn was asking about. Does anybody consider ever going to Rumble or something else if YouTube ever crashes? Now I haven't, but I've
If
heard it's.
YouTube crashes, I'm gone.
I don't know, or someone like hacks your account or whatever.
I'm not fucking starting all over.
I hope you have triple sign-on securities. You don't get hacked. I would hate to lose all my music. I wouldn't care about subs, but I'd hate to lose all the music that I had saved. You know?
Gotta get that duo authentication.
Yes, absolutely.
For what?
For YouTube,
for YouTube and stuff.
For all of your sign-ins.
you can log in with your Face ID. I don't know. Hugh, you are a rock star. Hi, Mon. You just getting here? He's a rock star.
So Swamp Syndicate, we were gonna play as the last one, which I think is kind of a perfect one to play as the last song for you guys. But why don't you talk
Kristen,
about
thank you.
Swamp Syndicate a little bit?
Swamp Syndicate. Once again, I wrote the guitars, the main guitar line. We actually both worked on the lyrics. We came up with the chorus in a day, because we wanted kind of like a southern party, a Florida party song, because we don't have one. So we were like, man, let's do like a Florida party song. We're looking, and that's just kind of where the lyrics came from.
Yeah, I have heard artists
Florida
doing
Pie.
that whole, that whole like Snot. Okay, their intro song. How
That's an
coming to your
obscure-
town. And yeah, so there was something that I had kind of borrowed from that idea, and if you remember that
Snot is a band from the late '90s. Once again, they were really. You know who they were? Probably.
I've never heard of them.
Oh yeah.
They were a new metal band. Well, they mixed a lot. They were more than just new metal. They had punk influences. They had a lot of, but they were kind of. The lead singer passed after the first album dropped, and then that was pretty much, they still. I definitely recommend anyone out there that's never heard of Snot, look them up.
Yeah, that's
Great
where
stuff.
that's where I got kind of the
But yeah,
feel for those
the feel
lyrics.
for Swamp Syndicate definitely came. It was Snot influence.
There's some Easter eggs in there too with the
Nah.
whole. You'll hear, yeah.
Snot. I see some.
Yeah. I was looking them up because I'm like, I'm good with music, but not with names of bands. But
I
I
love
still.
that first song.
Yeah,
late,
that's a great.
late 90s, there were quite a few of those bands where it's like
Yes.
the first album drops right before the lead singer passes, or
Yeah, unfortunate.
yeah.
Yep.
Frank,
Sorry,
before you hit play,
Yeah, no.
Did you
I
hit play?
thought-
okay.
thought
No, I
it-
just want. This is the guy,
Oh,
right?
is that you? Jesus. I'm
No,
like
no, no.
panicking.
That was you.
Oh, that was me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait,
I'm
but
like,
says-
how did that just happen? What did I touch? Sorry,
oh,
what
but
were you saying?
I can't add it while yours is still in there, and I don't want to touch yours, so we're good. No, I was just going to show a picture of the lead singer of Snot because I was like, okay, I was looking him up. New metal band Snot.
Yeah, we can add it.
Lori's favorite new band now. It's not
Right? He's still the
Yeah,
best
a
name.
lot of chicks thought he was a hottie. So
It was great. It was a great chorus to that song.
There we go.
Hey,
Is
that's
this the
Fred.
band?
Wait, that's
Fred.
not him. That's Fred
Fred.
Durst. But that's the album cover, though. See the dog with the ball on its nose?
Yeah.
That was the album cover.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, yep. I remember
that's
that
not
album.
that's not the singer from that's Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what came up. Hold on. Well, whatever.
Oh, that's a
Which,
Yeah.
has
I think I'm the wrong thing, but-
speaking of Red Durst, though, he pops up in the movie Y2K. I was just watching that the other night. Man, that's a fun movie.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yes,
Does he?
yes, yeah. Because it's about the big 2000. It's
Yeah.
midnight and everything's gonna go crazy, and then Fred Durst pops up in it. It's worth the watch.
That's funny. I did not see it. All right, Frankie, let that song rip. I'm sorry about that. I was just curious.
It's all good. It's all
yeah.
good.
Just everyone out there, look up Snot. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Great band.
All right, what do we?
Now you threw Frank off his game.
I know. I'm
Well,
sorry.
No, you know what? I was getting so into the chat, and it's all good. I thought I hit something. I guess I did. But Swamp Syndicate. Let's give it a spin.
We're the Swamp Syndicate. We're about to get into it. With muddy waters rumbling against that will quit. So keep the bonfires lit. Like all the seaside, they know us statewide. We're gonna jam while y'all get a little. My family's alright. Take
Lori, are you touching something? It says the host is muting the show.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I meant to mute myself. Go on.
Lori's breaking things.
Sorry.
Oh,
down to this swampy town. Hurricane running. Where the moonshine is clear and the water is brown. The storm is coming. We're the Swamp Syndicate. We're about to get this party jumping quick. With
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Crazy.
Oh,
I am so
Yeah,
sorry
Party in
about
the
that,
swamp.
guys.
Party in the swamp. It happens.
oh yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I was trying to mute it because I'm like, this sounds like something familiar to me, and I couldn't think of it while you was playing, and I'm like, it came to me. It was "Sabotage" by Beastie Boys, just at the beginning. I
Nice.
can't stand it, but that was awesome. Raging.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, everybody
Swampy.
don't forget Friday, BANDCAMP Friday. Yeah. Hey, Dragonfly's such an amazing album. It's so good. So yeah, grab that on Friday.
I just
Yeah, we
started
really
following them on
appreciate
Bandcamp, so I'm going to wait till Friday.
So that's the name of the album, Dragonfly?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna-
second album here is Dragonfly. The first album was just Bog.
Mhm.
Basically self-titled, I guess you could call it.
Yep.
I love
We
the
will
play on
start,
words. though.
I'll pick
we will
it up.
start reaching out to others. We, you know, I think I'd said something to you guys where it was, with us being two guys, it's, you know, we
Yeah, right on the
grind,
plate.
But yeah, we will start reaching out to folks and, you know, giving some music and, you know, just sharing with the other podcasters that you guys had mentioned for sure. Absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because we enjoy this stuff. This stuff is all fun for us. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm so happy that we had both of you together for this show, and yeah, been super fun finding out more about you. Was there anything we didn't hit on during this show that you were like, oh, I want to make sure and mention this or that? Anything you can think of?
I mean, just
stay tuned. I mean,
stay tuned.
we're just getting warmed up, kind of. We're with it again. We go back to the two guy thing where we really are just
got
in
a
the
lot on
very
the barrel,
beginning
though.
phase. We just wanted to make sure we had enough songs that when we start playing live, we weren't playing the same views. So we wanted to make sure we released a couple albums before we started, you know, really, you know. But
Yeah.
so we are kind of. It's funny you mentioned the whole 2023. It's like wow. But yeah. So because the year prior to that is when we started producing that first one. So it takes us a while.
Awesome.
So yeah, more definitely more live shows. We're trying to get a couple a month, and then we'll
Yeah, so anybody that we're reaching to that is from Florida and you're interested, contact us. We are avidly reaching out, but we are only two guys and we're doing a lot of it by foot. You know, like we're showing up at venues and you know. So if you're interested in having us play, we're open to as many dates as you can pile on us. But we'd like to try to keep it at one a month, but you know, 2, 3, hey, we're for it if you know it fits our schedules and stuff because we do still you know work like everybody.
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So
You
Florida,
should
yeah,
bring your camera and live stream your live.
Well, yeah,
That
definitely.
is, yeah. We are getting a lot of footage. It's just a matter of editing and all sorts of fun
you
stuff.
guys are here with us taking the baby steps with a lot of the things that we've just started because during this live phase, like
Yeah.
the mixer that we're using and stuff, we're in that whole process. It's
live
arduous.
sound, like I said, live shows and videos.
Oh,
Yes.
you want to get the sound right. Okay, so you don't want to
Yeah.
actually film yourself live.
well, we're
Well,
just
no,
we're in the beginning of all that, but that is
Yeah.
okay. So like with the camera and everything, this was
Yeah.
all us on the fly the other day. We were like, hey, we got to
Oh, really?
Chad because we're so streaming. That was something I had mentioned to Andy after we had set all this up. I was like, now we know we can do it. You know, like what you're talking about streaming.
Yeah.
Us play here in the yard, even you know, because
Be
we do
awesome.
have a nice setting here with
Yeah.
lights and everything. It's
Yeah.
really cool. I
Gator.
told him I was like, there's gonna be some people that think that it's not real. That, you know,
Right.
it's at dark when we shine lights up in the trees behind us. It looks like a damn.
Well, when I saw you in the green room while I was still light out, I thought it was a green screen. You're like, no, we're actually
Right.
okay.
So
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
this? Frank hit 4,000
Well, you know,
subs. Is
so
that right?
just noticed
Awesome.
I was
Yeah.
at
Awesome,
I
awesome.
was
brother.
at 90 and change, so I guess all the friends of Brothers on Guitar
Awesome.
just bumped it right up. That's
And-
so cool.
I love hearing Frank say brothers on guitar because he always stresses the gi with the
Guitar.
name.
That makes it more swampy.
There you
Well, the
go.
Deep down, he's a
Well,
deep down, he's a
how do
Florida
y'all
man.
say it? Do y'all say it guitar or do y'all
No,
say
I just brothers on guitar.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that reminds me of when the cartoon where he had to get another guitar string.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it
I
off.
love
That'd be-
accent. Being a vocalist, all of it.
Yeah.
It's all music to my ears. All accents and
Even
yeah.
guitar.
I'll even make folks say
Brothers
things
on
again,
guitar.
like, "Can you say that again?" And they think, "Are you making fun of me?" It's like, no, I just need to hear it again.
Yeah.
Plus the United States and North America. Well, you're in Canada, but the United States has so many different accents all over the place.
That's what we say. Yeah.
You know, and then Canada has their, you know, your own accents going on too.
Yeah, we have our own. I had a couple guys on the 3 people on the show back to back to back, and I think it was $20 each to hear me say penis.
Cha-ching.
It did not. It was
It's a shame.
They
Brothers
pay you,
on
right?
wrong with everybody.
BOP is going to be the sequel to BOG, the Brothers
No.
on Pianist.
Pianist, yeah.
Brothers on pianist.
Wow.
Something wrong with that, Chad.
You go from a bog to a bop.
Brothers on Pianist.
Better than the brothers on an organ.
No, that's,
Oh.
that was really good stuff.
Awesome music.
Yeah, once again, I appreciate having you both
Thanks,
on.
guys. Thanks.
I know the rest of the community, there's going to be quite a few people to jump over that haven't already through Chad. Jump over to your channel and check out some of your stuff. Yeah. I appreciate
And yeah, check
you-
out our merch, folks. We need your support. It's
Yeah.
not just the money purchase. It's the having the logo out there, you know, sharing it.
Advertising.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So and I promise you that it is. We made sure it was cool. You know what I mean? And it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good quality.
Well, maybe this week I'll purchase the hoodie that one of your friends was saying was soft and cuddly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. We
Well,
appreciate
I'll
it,
say
yeah.
this. I mean, I bought one of those shirts, and Andy was like, "Oh, what do you think of the quality?" I mean, actually, like, you know, wanting to make sure that you know, it wasn't just
Yeah,
like,
I asked him every day. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm wearing them all the time.
how's it still holding up? That was before I figured out
Oh, you
how to
did?
make the images into SVG. They look way better now, man. When you put the SVG on a shirt, especially like a cotton shirt.
I'll admit,
right on.
I'm proud of it because we have been in quite a few acts, and this I like it. You know, I
Yeah.
like the whole. You know, I like it. And again, like I told you guys about the representation of family, when I'm wearing it and seeing it, feels like they're all with me.
One thing, Frank, you're up in Canada. I don't know if you would be able to purchase a shirt because I think I might have it set just for the States right now. Because I wasn't trying to mess with like VAT taxes and stuff like that. I'll send you one, brother.
Lori
I'll
and
send you
Chad.
one.
No, Lori or Chad I can get one through them and have it shipped out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm still learning when it comes to certain stuff like that on online stores and all that.
What store are you using?
So we just use a Shopify and all that
Okay.
with and then we obviously print on demand
Yeah.
through there.
Yep.
But all our stuff comes from the state of Florida.
Yeah,
So all the companies that print our shirts up are from Florida. Our
Nice.
music distributors from Florida.
So those that are out
Everything is
there,
in
that are
Florida.
Florida, we love this state.
Yes, you do.
We're working hard to try to represent it, and we that's why we focus all of our energy in North Florida. And like he was saying, it was something we were proud of that we were keeping all of our stuff here, like the actual, I think the printer,
The production of it, yeah.
right.
Same thing with our
Distributor, yeah.
Yeah, keep the jobs going in Florida. Absolutely. Yep.
Yep.
That's amazing. All right. Chad, any final words? We're going to get ready for closing out and have everybody jump over to Vince Janella's.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thank you, Frank, for the opportunity to bring over some people and get them shared out like this. I'm the type of person that I think a lot of the artists that I fall in love with, it's the other way around where I'm bothering them, and I'm asking them, hey, when's your new song coming out and things like that, and so they're not used to necessarily having to share over to other people, but I think it's great to them to start doing that, especially fantastic artists like you guys. I love Brothers on Guitar, and it was always trying to twist Andy's arm to get him onto a live, and anytime Halloween came around, he has a mask collection, so he loves to show that off. So I'm glad to finally bring AJ on board and have this show tonight where everybody gets to meet you guys.
Yeah. We're always we're always open for this stuff. We always are. So yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun meeting the artists in person like this. I've known
I'm
you just for
extremely
times,
grateful that you guys, that you guys are enjoying the work. It's over the top for me. I can't stress that enough.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, everybody. Snooks for posting all the links to their merch and their channel, their songs. DJ Big Red, same for everything you've done throughout the week to help me put the show together, Folk Punk, and the rest of my mods, Mike and Don, everybody that's still here, who's here, Hetriani, Gary Hubbs, the real Justine Kasprick, Snooks, I can tell you I love you 1,000 times. Lori's Mishmash. Thank you to my new channel member, Pause on Guitar. Thank you, Kristen. SWX, I missed you. It was in between a song. Thank you for your kind, generous donations. And there was somebody at the beginning that I'm gonna know that was Pause on Guitars that joined. Thank you all for all the support. Synthworks, yep. Thank you all for the support. You give not only my channel, the Community Pulse is about you and all the artists out there. Please offer up some support. Go check out their music, their merchandise. If you can, help out, and we're gonna get a lot more music coming from these artists. I love you all. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks, Frank.
Guys want to hang around
Thank you, and God bless everybody.
Love
Great
and
show, you
positivity
guys.
to everybody.
Chad, awesome job.
Awesome. Thank you. And
Bye,
we're going to
Chad.
close out with Lizaday's new version of Family. And she sent me last week. So let's have a listen.
Love
Thank
this.
you all. Good night. Love you. You.
Good night.
You too.
Sister, brother, father, mother, we are one and the same. Friends, chosen, hearts shared, a force of nature. We are forever like a diamond, special treasure. We shine. And we're not part of one another. Our love is gold. Family. Your life could get in the way. matter, baby. We are the same. Forever we will be. Brother, sister, father, mother. We are one together. Wherever we are in the world, our home is where the heart is. However hard the cards may fall,